today, and that is the film of actor Brandon Lee getting shot and killed.
Good evening, everyone. Like father, like son, in life and in death.
Actor Brandon Lee followed in the footsteps of his father, Bruce Lee.
The Los Angeles Times reports 2 spent .44 caliber casings were taken from the scene.
Lee was filming a movie at Carolco Studios near Wilmington, North Carolina.
In the film, Brandon's character comes back from the dead to avenge his murder.
What appeared to be a .44 caliber bullet was removed from Lee's body.
It is not immediately clear what will happen to the movie Lee was starring in. There was to be 1 more week of filming before it was completed. Just over a year ago, Brandon Lee was accidentally shot and killed on the set of his movie, The Crow. The last few scenes were completed without him, and this week The Crow opens across the country.
Hi, Matt Jackson here, and today is Sunday, September something, 1994, and we're gonna be filming. We're gonna dig a hole, then we're gonna film Dave coming out of the hole, like this grave scene. So let's go out there, see what Dave is down the hole. I'm here to tell you a love story. That's right, a story of revenge. This is the making of it.
Hello, David Owen.
Hello.
Whoa. Big day of filming, isn't it? Why don't you tell us what we're gonna do here?
Well, I'm gonna be buried alive in there, and I'm hopefully gonna be able to breathe through a snorkel. Hopefully.
This is Dave's grave.
It's gonna be pouring rain, and I won't be able to breathe real well. It better look good.
The first images I remember seeing of the Crow were little bits of press in Entertainment Weekly reporting on some of the troubles that they were having. I remember a quote from that saying, one of the guys said, this is not great, but this is nothing. I've been on sets where people died. And then a few weeks later, they had their cover story, Blood on the Set, it was called, and had a picture of Brandon on the front and an article about how he was supposed to have died. I remember being aware that it was a comic, but for the longest time I could have cared less. When James O'Barr was about 18, his fiancée was killed by a drunk driver, and a few years later he joined the Marines to get some structure into his life. And it was while stationed in Berlin that he drew his first sketches for The Crow, and that took about a whole decade to be realized, going through different comic companies, and they came out in Caliber with 4 issues, and then it was picked up by Tundra, who packaged the 4 comics into sort of paperback volumes, and then in '93 it was picked up by Kitchen Sink as a collected. They called it then a graphic novel. Saw the movie quite a few times, and when it started to, when the credits came up, that Miramax logo and Brandon Lee's name stuff, people were cheering, and they cheered all the way through as he would kill the various thugs, and it was just this incredible experience.
Most I remember everyone's reaction. Everyone's loving the movie. Everyone's clapping and cheering, and some guy screaming screaming about the comic book, how the comic book was better. Like, you love that? Read the comic book.
It's not just an ordinary book. There's just this haunting. I mean, you pick it up and you can feel the blood in it. You feel it. And there's also this whole world created.
A world where some guy could come back to life. They made it seem realistic, but it actually could not exist.
I can't remember how it came about or whose decision it was that, instead of just redoing it, which is silly because it's such a wonderful movie that we couldn't even touch, that we would go from a different angle and take it from the comic. And it might have been my idea because I don't know that Matt had ever read the comic at that point. I thought, well, that's a different way to approach it. That way we're not just redoing what had already been done. And we were 14, 15, and we didn't expect any of it to be seen. It was just one of our home video movies. First of all, we needed a place to have sets. So we're like, well, I have a basement. It's filled with crap, but if I cleaned it out, there'd be a good deal of space. So we got together with my parents and sorted through all that stuff and got rid of what we could get rid of, and then that was like our blank canvas, so to speak. For instance, we had to create a bar. And that wasn't, we knew, like Matt had some bar paraphernalia at his house. My grandfather owned a Ben Franklin, so we had a really old cash register, so we threw that on top of this bar that we made from wood in my attic.
This is going to be cool. This is our bar we're going to use in the scene of a huge massacre.
It's gonna be like our best movie ever.
We had made a few movies over the years, home video movies, and we were working on another one that it was sort of a Bruce Lee type spoof. It was somewhat in the vein of that, but we were actually going to play high school age kids, which we hadn't done, which was what we were, and try to get some other people involved, because we'd been playing all the parts. The movie we tried just previously was called Dying Breed, and it was kind of an update on one of the old Clint Eastwood movies called A Few Dollars More. But it was just very silly, a lot of mugging for the camera and trying to incorporate a lot of martial arts. It just didn't work, and we were playing all the characters. And this time we were like, okay, we'll do a comedy, and because Matt's a funny guy, and I thought that might work, and we could put some fight stuff in it and just play people our own age. And we were in the midst of trying to develop that. I remember kicking a soccer ball around in my front yard, and Matt saying, "Oh, we should do this Crow movie."
Okay.
Where are you going?
We're going to get some more of that.
The budget was nothing. It was a true no-budget movie. Didn't cost anything to make by any type of standards. We didn't go down to True Value or someplace and get wood. we knew we had a little bit of wood up in my attic, so we just went up in the attic and pillaged what resources we had, and that's kind of how we did everything, because I didn't have money to draw from. So the budget, it wasn't something I kept track of.
We'll find some paneling later. This will This is our finished product. We're just kind of doing some lighting tests.
This looks good.
Yeah, this looks pretty decent.
The actors part was hard because we would just grab, our first choice and ask them if they would be interested in being in the movie. These are just friends of ours or acquaintances from school or some other organization. Most of the people said okay, and that's our cast. I mean, our intention was to film it that summer and be done with it. And we thought that'd be a long time to work on it. And it was hard to get somebody to be on the, just to get a hold of them to film for that day. And so we weren't really anywhere near completion come fall. But what was nice come fall is we were back in school then, and we had sort of a student body to draw from, or we had more friends that we saw on a regular basis that we can see that day and say, hey, can you film with us tonight? And we just sort of took what we could get.
And action.
What the heck's he talking about, man? This guy is totally nuts.
The carriage held, but just ourselves.
What the heck's he talking about, man?
What
the heck?
Oh no, what's that?
What, are you kidding me?
When you're getting people to volunteer for something like this, the basic thing is just you gotta get them motivated. And for the most part, they did fairly well. But I mean, these guys are just friends, and so they're here just to fart around. They think this is fun. We're just hanging out. Cool, we're gonna be in a movie. Well, to us, this is serious. This is something we've been working on for a long time. We'd like them to do a good job. But I mean, it is kind of hard at some points to get everyone kind of on the same wavelength as us, is that this is kind of serious. I know we're all having fun and games, but we'd like to do this well. When you have guys that are involved with it like that, it gets hard sometimes.
You're just down. You guys have to yell the whole time until we say cut.
I don't have to do anything you say, Dave.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, everyone ready? So you start off with this. Ready?
Aye, aye, Captain. Yo, baby.
Okay. And you got it close enough so that I can be like right
Okay.
here.
You can't see me, can you?
Yeah.
You can see me?
Okay, and
No, I can't see you.
okay, you tell them when to yell.
Ready? And yell.
Yeah, hey! Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Did you feel that you were a good actor to replace the late Brandon Lee?
I didn't think it'd be interesting for me to just do exactly what he did. He was a giant inspiration on how to do that, but I wanted to find it for myself so that it didn't feel or seem phony. Because if I did the same lines and tried a couple times, I said it the same way he did.
Suddenly, I heard a tap, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. You heard me rapping, right? Now, he scares me.
It started out being really bad. It was just me being Brandon Lee for the most part. It was too much from the film.
It's bad enough that he looked almost exactly like Brandon Lee. I mean, it's kind of hard not to with the makeup on, but he had like the right here, but he was actually talking exactly like Brandon Lee, which is kind of neat if we're doing, a complete movie from theirs. But the fact that we're trying to make this our own, I actually told Dave a couple times, like, kind of cut back a little bit. Try to just become yourself or just talk your own way as opposed to just imitating Brandon Lee.
And I started to read about method acting, which deals a lot inwardly, like manipulating your own emotions. And I think it carried. I mean, there was a period where, probably on purpose, I really let it affect me, and it became this. I was going for this method acting thing. I thought it was cool, and it wasn't trivial to me at the time. And I couldn't live the part on the set so much. I mean, I could maybe a little, try to do it during the take, but I mean, I had to keep the production together, so I couldn't be a basket case on the set. But I let myself be a basket case in the rest of my life.
I can go through that God thing. Then after I'm done saying that, then I'll start slitting my wrists.
I was going through some rough stuff at the time, and I was letting the movie be a scapegoat for some of that, for me to dwell on some of that. Oh no, but it was also this romantic notion of, this is method acting. You know, you dwell on these things, you try to do these internal exercises to get a good performance, but it's what you're thinking about all the time, and for a long time. It's hard to say in hindsight what was, what was just my, real life woes and what were stuff that was being perpetuated by the project I was working on.
Dave's over there cutting himself up, trying to cry.
Okay, come on. He suddenly sees a speck of light in the darkness. Then magically the whole room is filled with a very glow of candles. Sitting in the midst of the candles was a dark, grim-looking figure with an evil smile on his pale face.
Hi, Eric. How's it going? Not so good, huh? Well, I kind of figured you wouldn't be doing so good. I mean, you're underground doesn't do wonders for a guy, you know.
Eric stands looking confused at the strange being that sat before him.
Huh? It's really hard to explain. I'm a combination of, in a comic book there's a guy called the Skull Cowboy. He's there for about, in like 4 pages. And I'm also a combination of the crow, the bird. I'm the crow. See, Dave thinks he's bad because he takes me. I bring him back to life. He named himself after me. I make the movie.
Yeah, I guess so. This is gonna be like a little further away because the last part was just... I know. Okay. I'm showing you, look at it, and you're just like... Thank you, Ghost Man.
Thank you, Ghost Man.
Not let freak it up. It's like, you're kind of solemn. You know you're gonna die. Because this is how you're gonna die. And then you like, put it down, you kind of get ready, and you're like, perhaps I'll see you in hell. Your mouth does.
This is Fun Boy, played by Corey Steele. He's in Midland, Ohio.
We're serious about it to a point to make it good, but not serious about it to take the time to make it good. We just got whatever we could, got whoever would be an actor. We'd finish something just to be done with it. Then be pissed off that wasn't good and redo it. If we just took the time the first time to make it good, it would have taken 4 years.
We're gonna redo Gideon's. There's all Gideon's. We didn't have everything planned before we went on to the set. We had a couple of things planned, and it wasn't in consistency with the rest of the picture. It was just kind of one day at a time, and then with little attention to detail at first. And then we sort of had to make up for it along the way. It was sort of a hybrid at that time of the movie that we were in love with and this book.
It's gonna be similar to that movie, right?
Yeah.
Why bother?
Similar.
Why bother?
There's a lot of stuff different in that book.
Who's gonna care a year from now? You guys spend a year
See
making
this?
it.
Last time you see your face.
Doing this movie, I think my family turned on me for a very long time. We completely made a pawn shop out of my basement. Gideon's is my basement. But to do this scene, we had to take the microwave off, take all this stuff off, and it was such an ordeal. And so my dad was just so pissed off.
Why are you taping this again? Here comes Dad. You're
Daddy.
in trouble. You're in trouble. What are you doing?
Just taping.
You're in trouble.
For the movie.
Huh?
For the movie.
Freaking rat so written out.
He said he pit
Hit me. On what?
me for you.
Freaking rat so hit me for 40 again. Lousy scum. That's what you say. Put it down right there when we do it. Okay, so lift it up a little higher.
Dan's tired.
Okay, when I go like this,
not.
okay, action.
What'd you think when they first asked you to do this movie?
I thought it was pretty cool at the time.
Yeah.
Until I found out that I wasn't a very good actor.
Sucks. Fucking sucks. We are having fun. We've done these scenes like 3 times already. No, we're gonna be doing it 3 times.
Action. Thanks, Dave. Dog. Doug! Hopefully we'll be able to cut that out. Yeah.
Why is that focusing? Right. There we go. Alright, look at Dave. Dave is cut.
Put Band-Aid on it and cover the Band-Aid up with black tape.
Okay, you have Band-Aid?
No, we don't get hurt.
Don't drink any. No, don't.
Why?
Because of my dad.
There's only about 2 shots left.
So?
2 or 3. Somebody's here.
What are you guys doing?
I'm bored.
You guys want to watch this film?
Yeah.
Too bad. Go home.
Because we're
Alright, you guys will be really quiet.
You guys are done.
Dave, we have some friends.
We make them go away.
Wow. I don't see how we can film with 8 people around here. That's just a little difficult.
We try. You guys, oh, let's leave. No, we'll try. If you guys can't say a word.
Cable box. What does that mean?
Hey Dan, what are you playing today?
What?
Dan, what are you doing today?
I'm a cop.
You are?
Yeah, it's just.
Oh yeah, you're the cop.
What's he cop? I like to go across your shadow. How do we do it? We can't. They'll hold it. This won't work. It just won't because there's no way we can keep it quiet. We never have before. We can't risk it. Have him like go watch the TV.
Smile for the camera.
Fine. We can't have. There's no way we can work around it. We tried before.
And we don't want to do this again.
There's nothing personal. It is too. Watch TV.
Go watch.
My sister's sleeping, so it'll be a little quiet.
This is Matt Jackson, your host for today, and going on a little magic bike trip. Get ready.
What?
Basically, I'd call Dave. Hey, what's going on? We gonna film anything today? Parents are home. We're making a lot of noise downstairs. Or if no one was home, we would shoot, and I'd pick up my camera, see if we can find a tape, and come down and see what happened.
This is very bad. Very, very bad. The tape's not wet. The inside wasn't wet. Don't know what it is.
If I were you, I'd pray.
We have a warranty of some type. If it's not a year old.
I don't know, Dave. You know better than to get water around the camera. You better let it dry out and pray.
This has not been a good day for me.
You should know better.
How many times we have water on it?
You
before?
should know better.
We've had water on it.
That was
not
bad.
bad.
That was
There's not water pouring out of it.
Think, Dave.
Get away.
Think. There's a little technical difficulty with the camera. It's wet and like doesn't work anymore.
Flooded. What? What did you say?
Dave just killed Brian. Don't laugh.
Things get hard, with just like non-stop crow action going on at your house.
Well, sometimes sometimes it's bad because my parents got really mad at him and stuff because he's like doing that so much. And sometimes it's, it's okay. It's normal.
I do believe he lies, skank. You're on the... Yes, he looks cool. You
Woo! Whose accents?
Huh?
Whose accents?
What accents?
Downstairs.
Andy? Yeah.
Ariel Skank.
got him like by the hair and by the shirt. I got him by something. Yeah, you have him too. I'm
make
gonna be
fun of
behind you, but you won't be able to move.
Or hurt you?
You say. I think he rolled on his...
Each scene took probably about, I'd say, half hour, when we'd have to keep going over and over the scenes until we got them right.
Your eyes get really big and you just look at him. You're him, aren't you? No, don't say all that. You just go, you're him, but I saw you die. But I saw you die. And then I'll say, as you see your own death before you now.
Okay, then we'll stop there because I don't want to have
Yeah,
to
I
memorize
know,
them.
because then we'll do that. So, practice and action.
Can you put me up for the night?
That's a cool thing right there.
Watch your step, Thompson.
Look how disgusting he is.
Oh, wait, do it again.
Almost like he fell on the stumps of his leg.
Right now, we are making our props because we are so freaking low budget. Those are Andy Pearson's boots, which ripped off from his feet. We're gonna make his like stubs of his legs when he's chopped off. There's Fun Boy.
People's supposed to come, and it doesn't mean anything on our set. We just kind of, hey, we should get lots of money so we can pay people. So just show up.
I don't think there was an entire scene, no major scene at least, where we were able to just go, okay, let's film this on this day, and we just did it.
You're gonna learn all about it.
I'm Batman!
Every step was an effort, and that's where it was really helpful to have just the fact that Matt was doing this with me. He was just a riot and just helped what might have been a very depressing process of actually making the movie, let alone all the time away from the camera. The time on the set, while stressful at times if you had a lot of actors to try and deal with and try to get on tape what you need, it was a lot of fun sometimes because of him.
This is what movie people do when they're really bored and pissed that their actors are off whacking off somewhere, not want to film. Let me tell you something. I'm pissed off. Last time I'm filming, I quit, you shit.
We're calling Kurt.
Ah, busy. He's busy. Okay. What am I doing?
It's their little set. People, huh?
Be able to play. Alright, we got stood up again.
So I'm pissed off all day for shit.
Well, at least this is set up. So that when next time we do it, it'll just be there.
Well, I'm not going home anyways.
Wanna go down and run a video?
Sure.
This is what we're gonna do each and every time someone stands up. We're gonna go do something. And then we track them down and rip their balls
Yeah,
off.
he told me. He's like, so no one else came? I go, no one came. He's like, well, I told Ton to go up and told me like where he lived and all. And he said he must not found her or whatever. But
like, he has to be here anyways.
I know.
If we do it after school, it might be good because then we can just tell people. I go, yeah, just come over.
Do they drive to school?
Kurt?
Yeah. So we just get them all in a car and you go.
I don't know.
So we just get them all. Okay, get in the band car and we're going.
I will talk to him tomorrow though, to figure out what's going on.
I can understand people not wanting to do it, but the fact that they told us they wouldn't, the fact they would said, okay, I'll be there, I'll be at this time, and the fact that they just wouldn't, for no good reason. I mean, for other things, that's okay. If you want to go to a movie. But the fact that we'd have to get everything together, we'd have to get all the equipment together, Dave would have to spend who knows how long getting makeup together, and go through this whole ordeal of putting this thing together, and people just wouldn't show up. And so there's a great big massacre at the end of the book where all the final bad guys finally come to confront Eric, and where the huge thing comes out and where he ended up killing everyone but T-Bird, stuff like that. And we were going to film this as much as we could.
I was a athletic trainer at the time, a student trainer for the football team. And I recruited a bunch of guys I knew that were on the football team. And I probably handed about 30, 35 flyers out to people, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll be there. It's like a Saturday night. And when the time came about, I mean, we had a lot of, we'd actually had a story conference. We sat down, because it was a big thing, we're going to have a lot of people to deal with. We're like, well, let's try to work this out so we know what's going on when we get there and what to tell the people. And only one person out of those 30, 35 people showed up.
30 people were supposed to come. They all said, yeah, I'll come, dude. I'm there for you, man. How many people do you think came? Oh, guess. Come on!
What?
One. One person came. No one came. No one's ever gonna come. So, make a long story short, fucking done with the Crow.
We're done with the Crow. We're just not doing it anymore. It just sucks. Our whole life has been hell since doing it. And it's like a huge weight lifted.
The first night when we initially said we're just done, we'll probably finish it someday when we're 26 or something like that. And we thought that for about a half hour, and then we thought, well, we'll finish after Christmas break. So it probably was a better movie for that break. We filmed some more starting in late January, consciously choosing to not be bogged down by the whole thing and to just keep going and reaching our goal. I mean, it was just sort of the reality of the elements we were working against, being so young with so little equipment and so little willing, people excited about participating in it. Most everyone who was in it did it as a favor.
I told her we were filming a scene, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, he's like doing a movie or something, and we're filming a scene in it. She's like, "Well, you ready to get home now?" And I'm like, I'll be home in a little bit. 4 o'clock. I'll be home in a little bit. You better make it soon. Okay. Bye. Okay, here's what we need for this. Close up of me pulling the gun to his head and pulling the trigger back.
Well, actually, there's boot in there and like. I didn't say anything. I just
Sorry. Ooh! You don't watch me snap on camera? I'm wet!
Hey.
When we're filming and he's gonna be pointing at you, pretend like he's not there.
Well, what if I can't?
Wish you could film it in black and white.
How long did
Can't
it
you?
take to film all that?
That took 4 hours of actual filming, 4 hours of cleanup.
Why does it take so long?
If there was one thing in the movie that you would change, what would that be?
bad acting. Bad actors. Just we got our friends. We got our soccer goalie. We just got whatever we could, and I think we settled too much.
They didn't look the part, and I mean that's still an existing problem in the movies. You have 14, 15, 16, maybe 17 and 18-year-old people playing the parts of older folks, and nobody's really interested in acting. These were all just goofball friends of ours.
Logan's mom just called and says Dad's coming at 4:30.
What do you say?
Fun boy, you come here. You come talking crap, bringing me down.
Fun boy, you come over here, trying to bring me down. Junk's done ate up your head, boy. We used to be smart, now you just make me sick.
When I first caught wind that David Allman wanted to do The Crow, I just kind of thought, okay, just another stupid, just throw it together kind of film. And as time had gone on, I learned more about David Allman, started talking to David Allman. I really wanted to be in The Crow. I really wanted as big a part as I could get.
It's dark in here.
Okay, you can turn the light on. Can't you turn your light on?
Well, it does look kind of funky. Plus,
we do mine.
Oh, I can see fine without that. I'm ready when you are, then. Just tell me when you're ready, and I'll say action. This is cool shit. It's good. We can see the breath too. I'm excited. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
Yes, I am.
I'm ready.
Okay, and action.
10.
I guess let's just get out my camera and we'll see which looks better. Whichever looks better, I guess we'll use.
The only thing we had problems with actually doing location is the fact that you are not on a set. And you're not on location where people know you're on location filming a movie. You're just in some public place and they think you're fighting. I mean, you got some guy dressed up in this crazy ass makeup beating someone, and then just between two buildings, they don't know what's going on. I mean, they might not even see the camera. They see two people fighting, so they're calling cops. Cops are coming and talking to us. We talked to so many cops. And that's just the problem, is the fact that we have to deal with people who don't know what's going on. People driving past, looking at us, people wondering, people asking us, bothering us. Just things don't account for the weather, raining when it's not supposed to rain. raining when we have to rain and not raining, and just that was a pain in the ass. This is a rainmaker.
There's not much anything left in this. I don't know how it's gonna look.
That's basically all it is.
Yep, you see it raining in the movie? Bullshit. It wasn't raining. It's just this stuff.
Can you explain to me anything you did on your own with the camera that kind of more or less intensified the movie?
Actually, I did try to look at like real movies to figure out the stuff they did where most of the time you wouldn't have just the person in the direct center.
Yes.
You'd see them like off on the side or off in the corner. And I really tried to do that a lot more. I just tried to just add more to it. And lots of the angles came from the comic book. You could go through the comic book and see the exact movie would look the same as the comic book.
Okay, you say mind, I say forever, and you say only forever.
Since Dave was the main character, someone had to film him, and so that'd be me. So I did a lot of the filming. I just kind of got into it. I had fun filming.
Whoa, you got a camera filming me, filming through a camera.
We filmed our flashbacks in 2 days behind the high school.
It was like they decided to take a picnic behind the school, and I happened to be there filming them, and we decided to put it in a movie. He would have some sort of a clue what he wanted, like certain things. Like maybe I wanted a hug here, or I wanted sitting by a tree reading Cat in Hat. He wanted certain things, but there was the ad-libbing that kind of made it seem natural. It seemed like they were actually a couple.
We've been filming a little bit back here. Now I have to break the mirror.
If I can.
Try. And action.
Now what are we gonna do with it?
Yes.
Cool.
Hopefully we got it. That like worked.
Yes. I'm not hurt either.
Dave cut himself.
I was pounding my head into the wall, ground. I call it wall because that's what it says in the book. And now we have a bit of a problem. It's bleeding. And we have other things to do. Without a bleeding forehead, it's not bleeding bad. Maybe we can cover it up. Yeah, we'll be able to work through this shit. How much stuff do I have left to make up today? Ooh, way too much for this to happen.
I mean, it was almost like a job at some point, because I'd wake up in the morning, I'd get my stuff together, and I'd go down to Dave's. This is what I did over summer. I'd go to Dave's and film a movie. And a lot of it just ended up not being fun. It was just the fact we had to do it, had to get it done.
Okay, Dave, tell us what's wrong.
Headache.
What?
I have a headache and I have to go wash the dishes. It's gonna take me an hour and a half. Then it's gonna be dark and we have to go out and film.
Oh, Dave, it's okay.
It sucks.
What was the driving force? Who knows? I think what it was about was the product. Knowing that we would end up with a movie. And it was all worth something. We weren't just doing it for the hell of it. We'd come up with a movie. And it's something we'd show for our efforts and it would look cool.
Last night filming The Crow.
It'll be a year Sunday. Like we have
Year Sunday
already, but I don't guess.
I'll be blind.
Dad's yelling at us. He's probably right about we're gonna be on private property. But I don't care.
The only thing I ask is that whatever you do, as quickly as possible. You don't have permission.
Seems odd that, we're almost done filming. We've been doing this for a year. This has been our life. Not a day went by thinking, hey, we film anything? Damn, we can't film anything. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just kind of sick. All of a sudden, bam, we'll be done filming. So they do that, it starts flashing me.
For now, we're gonna sign off for now. Don't forget that we love you and we'll always be here for you. And you're the greatest, and don't let anybody tell you that otherwise. Bye.
Then we had to go about editing it together, which what I was going to do. And all that we could come up with was using the camera that Matt had been using to film behind the scenes footage, his home camera, with a little equalizer enhancer in between to take the color out and to do some of the sound stuff. So I just set up this thing in my room in the late summer and put it together.
I'm counting 3 and I'm going to blow your head all over this wall. 1.
Just finished. This is the 3rd day of this cockamamie bullshit. It's 2:41. Just finished tape 1. So I'm starting tape 2, which is a shorter tape. And I'm on Watching Forever. Almost to book 3. Sucks. I bet I'll be done tomorrow. Tomorrow's what, Wednesday?
It's 9:21 in the morning. Once again, I got absolutely no sleep. I'm done. Fucking done.
It wasn't very good, and I wasn't really nuts with it. I mean, at the time, we were just glad to be done. But it kind of grew disenchanted with it after a while, and learned some more tricks and started up again.
What's the date?
It's a new year. We're always coming on and say, yeah, guess what? Either, oh, we're quitting, or oh, we're starting up again. Well, guess what? We're starting.
It's like the 16th, I think. Or 17th, 16th, I think. February 16th, 1996. We're starting over. Starting over. Okay, I'm see. I kind of was surprised that Dave wanted to go back and fix it. Actually, I mean, when you're done with something, you're obviously going to have a few things left you want to fix. You're obviously not going to be completely satisfied if you are a true perfectionist in the name. But to actually, I guess I was surprised to actually go back and redo it. So I think I was satisfied with it. I thought it was good. I thought we did an excellent job.
From the initial shoot that we took a year to do, and that we put together into a finished product, over half the movie that you see now is still from that. And we decided, well, we're going to refilm some things, make Fun Boy more in depth, just try to generally make it a little bit better here and there, augmenting this footage.
I think I was still involved with it for a while, but not very much. And just slowly, within a few days, maybe, just got away from it. I just didn't have the time or the care. I was done with it. I wanted to move on. I need something else. Change.
It just became more and more personal to me. I mean, I saw something in it, or enough in it, or I felt that there was enough good things in it to sustain my interest. And I started to realize the merits of doing it. That I'm learning stuff in the most valuable way that I can by actually doing it. And it's really stuff that will stick because it wasn't something I had to do for someone else. It was something I did for myself. It was through doing this that I decided I think that this is what I want to do for a career.
I think I understood that he was more serious about it, so I'd kind of step back and let him do stuff. He's always wanted to go into movies, so I knew I wasn't going into, so I'd step back and...
You are alone! It's all about me now! Not you! Not anybody else! Me!
I think I made it fun for him to work. If it wasn't for me, it'd be just probably pure hell.
We're going to be filming a scene of Shelby and Jones,
Hey, give me a match.
played by Boomer and Rob.
2 thugs in a car. Bandit really waiting for somebody. Shelby is trying to tell a joke.
Action.
So the bitch just did a guy. She's like, I thought you were fucking...
Shut up. You hear something, man?
We got to it without cussing.
Action.
Yeah, I hear something. It's freaking pouring down rain outside, okay?
Action.
Yeah, I hear something.
What the fuck, dude? I just
got the giggles, dude.
Oh, shit.
God!
I hate him, dude.
Okay.
I hate him.
I'm ready, dude.
Fuck. Fuck! Now do whichever one you want, and action.
Yeah, I fucking hear something. It's goddamn pouring down rain outside. That's what I fucking hear. The rain's fucking everywhere. You don't fucking hear it, you're fucking going crazy. If you dumbass will fucking shut up and let me finish my goddamn joke, maybe we can get this fucking shit over with and go home, okay?
Okay.
Okay? Because this smoke's really fucking my lungs up.
You spit on me one more fucking time. Okay, wait. Your head's going through the goddamn window.
There was no cursing in the original cut of it, and we were just, we finished it when we were 15 years old. This one I knew, the finished version I knew would take a little bit longer, that I'd be, around the time graduating from high school by the time it was done. And so we were like, well, to hell with what our parents might think. This is me talking more so than Matt, I think. I wanted to do it as it is in the book, and that means doing a death scene.
The death scene at the end where the actual rape occurs, we didn't touch it off for the longest time, because at the time, we were 14 years old. Before then, we were making movies, or just kind of cheesy movies that we could show to our families and show to our friends, stuff like that. Well, now we're talking about a movie that has serious matter. Like, we can't film rape. Come on, we're 14. Theoretically, we're not even supposed to go to see movies like this, let alone make them. So, no, we can't do it. We'll find some other way to do it. So we just didn't do it. But then, after we redid it, and by then we're a little older, and Dave had lost all sort of, like, morals or whatever. We're putting whatever we gotta go in it. I think that is also why I kind of backed off from it, because I just don't like, I didn't want my family to see this. I didn't want them to know I was associated with this. And the fact that we're gonna film rape, I was like, no, I'm not touching that. But I think we approached it fairly well, is that most of it is just implied. I mean, you see their reactions, the guys' reactions, but you don't see any of the actual stuff.
And I wanted it to be terrifying. Because you see violence in movies sometimes, and there's the issue of glorifying violence, but there's times when you see it where it doesn't have the, the strong noise when somebody gets hit in the head, but it has that more real and frightening noise, and it's more the emotional violence of things sometimes, where you can watch it on screen and just be terrified. And also, when you don't show everything, it's kind of a little bit more frightening in ways if you got the sound in there or something. And it was just sort of a marriage of all those elements and showing little bits and snippets here and just trying to make it feel like the chaos. And I can, watch the scene and read it's the one scene, to me, I think, that feels the most like the comic. When I read that scene in the comic, I can't separate it from our little retelling of it.
Okay, try it again.
Can you fix it?
Not here, I can't.
I went panel for panel, and I had to, I just would draw squares around it to reconstruct it so that it's more the shape of the screen that we were dealing with. And I thought, well, we'll just go about it this way, and we'll shoot, if we have to, one person at a time. I can always be there. Fortunately, I'm Eric, so I knew we always had access to me, and if we could get just one other person there at a time, at the bare minimum, then I think it would be okay.
He filmed like one guy looking through one window, and then the guy would look up, hey, T-Bird. Then 3 weeks later, he'd come across another one of the bad guys downtown, and so he'd drag him down to this place at night, and he'd film him looking through another window, looking up, and he'd film his reaction talking to someone else, and able to sort of intersperse everything together, when in fact he didn't have more than one person. One day he'd have one bad guy, next day he'd have another bad guy, one day he had Shelley just doing her reactions, and somehow put it together, it looked like they're all kind of there together.
So that's the way we approach it, and again, these guys aren't actors, so I just asked, I said, look, this is what I'm kind of aiming for, and I got braver as I did, one after the other, and I just sort of told them and just waited to see what they sort of gave me. And as long as it wasn't a total disgrace, that's what I used. And some of the guys gave some pretty frightening things.
Come on, fucker.
See, that was good. Great on him, goddammit.
Come on, motherfucker. Get the hell off that bitch. It's my fucking turn. God damn you, motherfucking bastard. Get off! Get the fuck off!
It was a dark night on Rawiga Dark night on Rawiga Road. Yes. A gentle rain was pouring, not really, from the pumpy spray thing. From the, that was the rain. They told me to lick the window, so I did. They told me to rock the car, so I did. They told me to pretend there was someone in there that I wanted to rape, so I did. You know what that did to me?
Son boy, I can't give you absolution. And in a few moments, your sins will be between you and God. Have you read Milton?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Eric starts to identify with these men that he's slaughtering. And I guess the parallel in the journey there is when we started out, it was all excitement and stuff, and then after a while we just started to get bogged down by the project as a whole and the mammoth task of trying to adapt this very grand book. I mean, it's small on some levels, but I mean, for us to adapt it, it really was a huge undertaking. And if we'd have known what an undertaking it was going to be when we began, I don't think we would have done it at all. I'm glad we did, but you know, somewhere towards the middle, it was just became a burden where it's just like, oh, this is too much. I mean, how can we go on? We're constantly getting stood up right and left, and you know, even quitting at one point, and then you know, realizing what it is we need to do, and just sort of focusing on that task and completing it by whatever means necessary. But there are also great happy coincidences. Like, we knew people in the junior fire department, and that we knew that they occasionally burned down homes for practice, so that they would go in and would do it systematically, and then they would just let the thing burn down. And so we found out about one of those ahead of time, went to called dispatch or whatever, had our friend who was in the fire department and knew the police people, sort of set it up that it was okay, and he went with us. And we went to the place and filmed me walking into it. And then we went to when it was burned down, and it looks really expensive, but it was all for free. When that house was burnt down, it wasn't at nighttime like it was in the movie. It was in the daylight. But I realized that with some tinkering around, if I didn't show the sky, but just the house, with playing with the brightness and the contrast, could make it look like it took place at night.
We talk about stuff that didn't work and things not working, but then we have things like that just kind of worked out well for us. Like, hey, you know, this is actually coming together.
I found a public access studio in Wadsworth, Ohio, and that was where I ended up going to edit the final version. After editing 3 rough cuts at home, I would come in just as they were about to leave, just as the last person was leaving at night around 9 or so, and I would stay till maybe the next appointment in the morning. Once I finished that, I'd come to realize that I wanted to do a lot more with the sound aspect of it. And so I took quite a few months doing what amounted to location Foley work. I went around to, whether it was my attic, basement, or one of the locations we shot at, and took along a ham and a melon and whacked them both and tried to combine the sound. Or I actually even took the approach with the music. If there was going to be music, coming from a radio or a jukebox or a car radio, to go to the location, blast the music, use that music instead of a clean from the LP cut. I would use the on-location sound of it, so you get that the ambience, to create the ambience. I tried to create this like sonic ambience to go along with this dark visual scheme of the movie. After a while, once I got a little bit older and a little bit wiser as to some of the stuff I wanted to include, I wanted to include the ideas and the notions that Obar brought from other sources. There's Voltaire in there, there's Rimbaud in there, there's Emily Dickinson, there's stuff from the Bible and Nietzsche, and there's a lot of poetry as narration, and there's a poetry to the book as a whole. That's another thing that adds to the appeal, but it also brings a great depth and breadth and pedigree, all these things, they just sort of open it up to something much more than just a grim little zombie tale. I think it's the themes of loss and retribution and love. I mean, they're very basic human feelings. And I think it appeals very largely to the age we were when we came to it. Teenagers, you get a lot of angst in there. It's like the ultimate, triumph of anger over adversity is, transcending death to fulfill this revenge and that comes from this immeasurable love that even death, has no hold over it. And there's a good violent tale to accompany that, but I think that the appeal of it is the heart of it, which is the love story between the two people, this very pure and unconquerable love. Omar said that he went to write the book as a catharsis to get all of the rage and anger that he felt at having someone he loved torn away, somewhere to deal with it, and he hoped that by writing this book he could purge himself of all those emotions and demons, if you will. And he said that finishing the work didn't help. It only made him more focused on this anger and this pain. And so I didn't really expect any kind of closure, especially after 4 years. But when I was done with that, I found, to stand back and take stock in my life, I really got from this point to this point. And the movie was very instrumental in bringing about some of those changes and dealing with some of those emotions and learning, things about life through just having to accomplish something. So I did find myself in a totally different place finishing it, a much better place than where I was when it began. I never really considered myself a patient person. I guess I learned some measure of patience in doing this, and an ability to look beyond just the here and now to, well, maybe I can't film this tomorrow or the next week, but sometime we can get this and we can get it good, or we can do it again and get it better, and we can get ultimately what we want out of even this meager equipment that we have.